rejection. We're going to talk about how men handle rejection in the dogs. So you can learn today. It's going to be a very interesting topic. We're having a great time. We're in Vegas. We're learning a lot. We're working with different companies, with different stuff. It's just unbelievable. Yesterday we had a meeting with a company that's coming up with a new system. It's very similar to YouTube, and I'm going to be able to run some channels and do some stuff. Great projects, great news, great things are happening. The future looks extremely great. I went very late. We were with these guys. We had dinner, then we started talk. Went to sleep late. I just woke up. Just got off the phone with the amazing Thais Lopez. And we were talking about something very, very important for you, new guys coming into the breed, and for some of the guys that's been on the breed for a long time. You guys will agree with this. The system wants to feminize men, and the American Pitbull Terrier wants to make men masculine. Remember that. Let me just repeat this to you. The system wants to make men feminine, but the American Pitbull Terrier wants to make men masculine. America was built in the 1900s by little boys that became men by the 1900s, and they were raised with American Pitbull Terriers. The breed is social great, the greatest breed ever of dogs. You find mud pit bulls in Peru, in Brazil, in China, all over the world, and people talk about American Pitbull Terrier, or the word pitbull means strength, means never give up, means being powerful, means all these beautiful things. And so they mix these dogs, and they destroyed the process of the framework. You can find videos about the framework here on my channel. But, they destroyed the framework, and they started having anybody breed the dog. Anybody is a dogman. Any dog is a pit bull. So destroyed the whole concept of it. But the genetics trickled down, watered down, crappy down, mixed with other dogs, and still those dogs are better than many other dogs purebred. Okay, but they never close as great as American Pitbull Terrier. So I want you to know this. How you react to rejection is extremely, extremely important. How you react to rejection. How to become number one in life. One of the steps that you need to know how to become number one in life is how you deal with rejection. Most men today have a problem. 30, 40-year-old men having problems on how to react to rejection. Let me give you a perfect example. In the past, when I got to the breed, how I reacted to rejection has a lot to do with the great Chico Lopez in the dogs. And that's a story that you need to learn, how I reacted to it. And the reason is because I tell you a little story. I had Bruno Boy. Bruno Boy is already he's a one-time winner, and a friend of mine's, which I wouldn't call him Swamp. He was considered among the people in the Bronx, New York, someone that was respectable because his dedication to the dogs was tremendous. He was a really dedicated man, and he loved to be engaged in the activities of the dogs. He was not promoting anything positive. He was not going to, telling people, no, he didn't understand the dogs in this way, but it was not his fault, to be honest with you. It was just the environment in the Bronx in the 1990s, 1980s. But he loved his dogs. He slept with the dogs. He brought them in. He was doing a lot of great things about it. And be honest with you, this guy that I'm going to give you his name now is the one that when I was holding the gazettes and I was looking at the advertising in the gazettes, as crazy as that might sound, the gazettes, Pitbull Gazette, I was looking at it, and they had blue dogs, crap, garbage dogs that are not real pit bulls in a Pitbull magazine. He's the one that took the magazine. I was looking at these dogs because I have Bruno Boy. So I didn't, he said, no, my friend Chico Lopez, these dogs in these magazines are garbage. They're not real pit bulls. Something happened that they had them here, but they're not real pit bulls. Let me explain to you about the bloodlines and about the real pit bull and what it is, and so on and so forth. And I learned from him. And so I'm very grateful for that. So I don't want to talk bad about the guy. But the guy had some, like all of us have different faults. Later on, we distanced ourselves, which was a pity because we could have been friends for a long time. And it was his fault why we broke the friendship. I moved to Texas and we separated. And a few decades later, he approached me because he wanted to have my dogs. He was going to move to Pennsylvania, but unfortunately had a heart attack and passed away. So rest in peace, my respected friend that I learned from him to work dogs even under the snow. He used to take grand champion Hunch on his skateboard all the way from 196, and we used to go all the way to past on the Concourse. Crazy thing, you see all the taxis, you see all the city buses from New York, the New York City Bronx type of scene back in the 90s. And he has a skateboard. I had Bruno Boy and two grand champions, me on the bicycle, him on the skateboard, going down all the way to 131st, past Hostos Community College in the Bronx. It was just crazy being with this guy. And he was a rough guy. He was rough and tough guy. He was a very tough guy. And he had that image of toughness. When he first met me, it was crazy because I'm walking through, how do you call it? I go to work in Manhattan in a suit and tie. And in the Bronx, in that area where we lived, the suit and tie was not good. You know, it was different. People are hip hop and stuff like that, tough guys. And so I go by and I tell him, I think, you know, this dog you have here, I got a dog that's better than that one. And it was a good guy. I have good memories with him. We used to go fishing, by the way, together. I take him in my van to go fish out over there in, it's called Sheephead Bay in somewhere in New York. Anyhow, let me go back to the topic. So one day, I had Bruno Boy, one-time winner, and then you got these boys from Long Island. They are coming in to the Bronx. They couldn't handle Hunch as a puppy, and so they brought him to these men so he can work Hunch and they become partners, and then he ended up owning Hunch by himself. But Hunch never went back to Long Island. But these young guys, they come over all the time. So one day they brought hats like this. You know, it says GOAT here, because I'm the GOAT American Pitbull Terrier. But they brought the things like this that says, had a thing that says Big Apple Bulldogs, and they didn't want to. They did not want to be called kennels. So when people call them Big Apple Kennels, Grand Champion Big Apple Kennels, it's absolutely wrong. They were so against that, because being a kennel means nothing. You know, being a kennel means nothing at all. They wanted to be Big Apple Bulldogs, which means they have bulldogs, and so it was crazy. But these guys. One day we were having a great conversation with this Ralph and talking about dogs and stories and whatever. And he had like an alley when you go down to where he lived in the basement. And so all of a sudden, these guys came in with the hats, whatever. So they were going to have a meeting, and I already knew them. We already talked for 2 or 3 years or something like this. And all of a sudden, the guy said, like, we're going to have a meeting, man. You know, this conversation is going to be for the creation of Big Apple Bulldogs. And so I look around and said, Chico, give us some space, you know. This is we're taking this for big things. And, you know, we would love to have you because you're always around us and stuff like that. But we are big dog men, and we are going to go somewhere else. And you know, you just you don't even have dogs to be part of this group. You have a street dog. It's called rejection. And I felt it. And how you handle rejection is extremely important. When that came in, I said, oh, yeah, really? So you think you're good? Now I'm going to show you why I always win, why I was the #1 Boy Scout, why I was the #1 student, why I was in a gift and talent in school when for children who were smart, why I was so tough when I was a kid. I said, now we start to compete, and I love it. Now we're going against each other. So at that particular moment, I started buying dogs from Pit Stop Kennels, from Ricky, and I started building my own squadron of greats that I wanted for the future. I wasn't ready. I was not even a real dog man. I had one dog. It was, you know, it was the best rookie. I am the rookie of the millennial. Rookie of the millennial. I self-titled myself that, and I think you can compare me with anybody. There's never been a rookie in the American Pitbull Terrier. Best rookie in the world. So even for you rookies, you're not on my level. You know, rookie man with a street dog become grand champion. becomes the greatest dogman on the planet. And it was so crazy because when I did that, I started working, so I handled rejection that way. I give you another example when I handle rejection perfectly. Captain from Thailand, he said, "Oh, you're Latino, you're from America. The Americans, the thugs, the scumbags, the lowlifes, the swampers, the gutter, you know." And I say, "I'm not from the gutter. I'm not from the thugs. Let me send you a couple of pictures with me and my dogs with the suit and tie, a great dogman." And he looked at this, and then we finally talk on the phone, and he said, "Wow, my friend, you sound like a nice guy, but I don't know if you have the balls to come to Thailand. It's a big bet, and you want to come to Thailand, and you gotta come prepare, and." And I went and we have our thing, and he gave me the biggest respect. I asked him for permission to record these conversations because he was an old man and he was more on his way out. Next 20 years he went out, and I asked him questions like, who are the men that you respect the most in the breed? And I remember he mentioned the Adams, and he mentioned Bobby Hall because he was not afraid to go into anybody. Bobby Hall was not afraid to go into anybody. Rest in peace, Bobby Hall just passed away. And Chico Lopez is the only man I know he's not afraid to go into anybody, and he's willing to travel, and he's always conditioned good. He's a good handler. All these words from this man. So I'm very happy. But I never took this and I won. Rejection was not something. This process that I just talked in a few minutes, it took a long time to make the process. But I'm going to tell you one thing about modern people, the people that are new coming in. Some of the people that are coming in, they want to be my friends. And we just don't click because you either want to talk with me to thug. You want to talk with me like you know me for many years. You talk to me like I'm your homeboy. I'm not your homeboy. I'm a man of respect. And you're going to respect me if you want to have a relationship with me. So when people approach me and they want to be like homies and homeboys, and we haven't established that before somehow, there's no reason we should have a relationship as maybe clients, maybe whatever, but we can have a relationship. So when people try to have that, don't work with me. It doesn't work with me. It's a relationship of respect. You don't respect that I'm done, Chico Lopez, and I earned the DON by my age, and I earned the DOM by merits in Brazil. Then you will understand that I am the greatest dogman ever in the history of every country I step. I am the greatest dogman ever from New York, the greatest dogman ever from Texas, and the greatest dogman ever from Brazil. So, and I say this, and it sounds kind of like this motherfucker is so arrogant. No, I'm not arrogant. I'm confident. I'm not lying to you. What you want me to lie to you or something? I'm telling you, I hope you dream and you become better than me, but I want to help you making these videos to add value to your life. And don't be afraid if you guys, feel like this. In my time, men used to talk to me the same way. Men used to talk the same way. The difference is I didn't feel like, oh my God, he's so arrogant. People will come and tell me I'm the best on this and whatever. And I liked it. I like this guy that's the best on something. I wanted to be the best on something myself. And so I didn't take it offensive. I took it like an inspiration, a motivation to do something. And so when people approach me with this type of things don't work. I remember one guy one time, he was going to do a breeding that I thought was going to be good quality, something to try. Let me take a look at this because it sounds interesting. It was many, many years ago, decades. And when the guy did the breeding, I told him, I said, I would love to buy a female from this. And a male and a female, or maybe two females. And the guy said, not this, I'm keeping it for myself. And he became like arrogant, like his nose went up like this, And I was like, really? No, I'm going to pay very good money. I will pay you very good for this. It's like the movie. I will take you to Oviedo. You're going to enjoy some wine. I'm going to take you around the city. We're going to make love. But the guy didn't want to do that. He didn't want me to buy the dog at any price. And I said, okay, no problem. What I did in return is I didn't go to the forums and talk about this guy reject me. I didn't talk about none of the stuff. What I did was I went and I created better dogs. Unfortunately for him, and good luck to me that he rejected me, that the breeding he did failed. And failed because I think the genetics were okay and they could have been used for something else. But he was not Chico Lopez, and he was not going to develop the dogs properly. He was not going to be the great dogman that I am, the knowledge. So by not being this man right here, he failed. And I would have had those dogs from him. I would have taken them to another level, and maybe I wouldn't enjoy the dogs that I created myself, which is better, and became better dogs. So out of rejection, I create something great, because this is how alpha males react to rejection. They don't cry, they don't bitch, they become better. They don't cry. Alpha males, real alpha males, pitbull men, I'm going to call them pitbull men. Those men do not break down, they don't buck down, they become better, they react to these, they become great in things in life. They take challenges and become better. I remember when I got to Texas, I was working in a company, and I went in and I was like, first 2-3 days, boom, boom, boom. You can tell this guy here is gonna come in and be the best salesman. And so I remember this guy called Frank Cordano. It was an Italian guy that moved from New York many, many years ago to Texas. He was already Texan. He lost his New York City accent and everything. And so they got me in the back of the company. When I arrived in the parking lot, they go all around, all the salesmen. Hey, listen, man, you can't be doing this like mafia, you know. You can be doing this. You're embarrassing us with the boss. You doing this stuff like that. And I said, go ahead. All you punks, come over, put your hands on me. I'm not going to beat you here, but I will fuck you up in the future. And I said, I'm the greatest that's going to be in this company. And today the numbers are speaking for themselves. All of those guys that were against me, they all lost their jobs later because I outperformed them. So I am a beast. I outperform everybody. I will outwork everybody. One thing about me is I will outwork you. You will get tired. You will not be able to stand the pressure. This is how I am. I'm wired this way. This is how I am. I'm a freaking pit bull. And I'm smart. So I'm going to work with this. And you are going to give up if you're going against me. And you are going to, you know how many haters I have from back in the 90s? A lot of them give up, and some of them are seasonal. They come in, pick, and they go. And I'm here like a statue. I don't move. This is how I am. I want you to learn how to be a strong, powerful man. I want you to be how to be successful, and I want you to learn how to react with rejection. These videos, I make them because I want to teach people about the old ways of the old men like me. So you don't become like these soft boys, you know. I don't need an audience to have people coming into. I don't need this. I want to talk to special, good quality people and create great things. So for you guys that love the American Pitbull Terrier, want to learn about the American Pitbull Terrier, in my network of social media or my website, we're going to have content that is going to be towards making the breed better, towards teaching you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you see the ugly and you see the bad, you can, if you're smart, you stay away from it. But if you're a dummy, you will go for it. But we'll be here for as long as I'm alive, the voice of the great, the voice of the good, the voice of Awesome Buck, the voice of Chilindrina, Siga the Great, Sarah Bell, Atos, all those great dogs. I want to add value. The reason why I make these videos here is because I think about these things, I talk about these things, and I feel that there's good people out there that need to get this message. I don't make these videos to attack someone in person. You know, I don't like the swamp. You know, I don't like it because it's the enemy of the breed, and they're bad people, to be honest with you, degenerate people. But the real reason why I make it is because I want to add value to you. I want you to become better. Okay? So if you made it to the part of the video, that means you're smart, you like to have a great conversation, you're able to stand on a conversation like this, and I want you to learn. Put a comment if you want to. If you don't want to, if you're still lurking around, that's okay. I think I'm adding value to you. God bless you. My name is Chico Lopez, and the future looks amazing. Thank you.